In this video, I'm going to explain what the Content Organizer is and how it works. Now, the Content Organizer is a new feature of SharePoint 2010 which enables you to sort and file documentation very quickly, and I'm going to explain how it works now using an analogy. So the easiest way to understand how the Content Organizer works is to think about how the post works. So if you consider when you're going to post a letter to somebody, you may have to fill out an address. So you'd have their person's name, the house number, the street, the city, and the postcode. And these fields of information determine where the letter is going to end up. So in the example we have here, we have 3 houses, and I've labeled them 1, 2, and 3. So say, for example, we had a letter here which we'd address to house 2. When we send that off, that obviously will end up in house 2, not house 1 or house 3. Similarly, show you again, if we addressed a letter to house 3 with obviously city, state, and so on there, the full address, when we go to send that, that will end up in house 3 because of what we've written on the envelope. And the Content Organizer works in much the same way. So if I move to the SharePoint site now, and I will explain how Content Organizer works. So rather than post a letter in a post box, we drop off a document in a drop-off library, and that is the same idea as the post box. When we put it in there, we write or tag it with the fields as necessary, and that will determine where it ends up. So if I look at this example here, the drop-off library, I've created 2 destination libraries already, which are like the houses we had. I've got the audio products library and the cameras and camcorders library. So if I click on the drop-off library here and add a document to it and browse, I've got one on my desktop here called test document, and click OK. Now I have to add some tags to it, fields to it, because of the type of content type I'm using. So we have a name, a title, I'll just put in the same there. Keywords are optional, and the author, which has gone in as me, I'm logged in as the Contoso administrator. I can add some comments as necessary, a preview image URL if it's an image, any copyright instructions, and finally down at the bottom here I have a product field. Now the way I've configured my Content Organizer is that documents will be routed based on what I write into this field. So in this instance I'm going to say it's an audio product. So I can write audio in there, or I can click on these luggage tags and find it in the list here. Okay. And now when I click submit, it's telling me now the document's been saved to its final location, the destination, and that's this library here, the audio products library, and that's because I've tagged it as an audio products document. So I click OK and move to my left hand navigation here and click on the audio products library. You'll see the document is there. If we do a second example, if I click on the drop-off library again, add document, browse to where it is on my computer, click OK. Now if I tag this slightly differently, I'll call it test document 2, and now instead of putting audio as the product there, if I type in cameras and select cameras and camcorders, and now click submit. Now again, it's telling me it's been saved to its final location, which in this instance is the cameras and camcorders document library because of how I've tagged it, if you like the address I've put on there. So now if I click on cameras and camcorders library, we'll see the document has been moved to there. So that's how the Content Organizer works and how it routes documents, and how it's very much the same sort of process as if you would post a letter in the real world.